I've had better luck growing in a sunny window than grow lights, and I'm guessing it's because the sun is the sun and lights are not the sun. But so just talk about that a little bit. If someone, number one, let's say someone had the choice to do either, and also in the scenario where the person doesn't have the choice, let's say they just don't have a good window,
Yeah.
should they invest in the grow lights and do all of that, or are they better off just buying their transplants, that sort of thing?
Well, it often depends on what they want to grow. Because if you want to grow, say, onions from seed, those are started. The seeds are started indoors, under grow lights or in a sunny window, usually in February, because they take about 12 weeks of indoor growth before they're moved outside. So if
Right.
you're starting onions inside in February, let's think about how long our sunny days are in February. They're not that long, right? And so we don't have enough light in a sunny window to promote healthy plant growth. So your seedlings are going to get leggy and they're not going
Right.
to grow well. So in that case, a grow light is better. But now that we have, like 12 hours of day length each day, and I'm just starting my tomato seeds now, I could get away with starting them in a sunny window. Ideally, if I have my grow lights on, I'll leave them on for 16 hours a day, but 12
Right.
hours of a sunny window is adequate for healthy plant growth. I would probably turn them around every couple days because you know how seedlings grow towards the sun,
Yeah.
just to make sure the stems grow straight and strong.
Right.
But you certainly can use a sunny window at this point in the season. I just wouldn't for super early started things. And you've got a lot of options for grow lights as well. You can get some very inexpensive ones. Pretty much all the grow lights I started with are just fluorescent lights on, just like shop fixtures, 4 foot long shop fixtures that cost me about 20 bucks for the fixture, another 10 bucks for 2 light bulbs. And that worked great. I just had
Right.
bookshelves we made and I hung them from that on chains and I would move them up and down. With fluorescent lights, the bulbs should be just above the tops of your plants,
Right.
because the higher up you go, you lose the foot candles. So you want to make sure they're relatively close to your plants. Leave them on again 16 hours a day. I use a timer because I won't remember to turn them on and off every day.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
works great, right?
That
But
was
fluorescent
great.
lights don't last forever. They're not that efficient. So now 2 of my 3 grow light stands are LED grow lights. And
I
I
see.
gotta say, I like them a lot. They're definitely more efficient. They're not as hot. They don't use up as much energy. And so I do prefer LED grow lights. And they used to be really expensive, which is why I didn't use them. But now the prices have come down significantly over, even a decade ago. So they're
Right.
an option for most gardeners now.
Okay. That's all good. And what
Yeah.
about heating pads? I mean, because I'm
Yeah.
just thinking. So I had Leroy Sean last, and I was asking him like, what I obviously have the worst luck with peppers. I can't get anything to grow in time. Blah blah blah
Right.
blah blah. He told me to grow these some kind of Italian tomato. So
Mhm.
literally before I went to bed that night, I ordered some, and I planted them. So that was like the beginning of March.
Okay.
So around the first week of March, I planted these tomatoes or these peppers in my south-facing window, and three have germinated. So the question is heating pads, and
Yeah.
I about 4 days ago I ordered a heating pad off of Amazon.
So I have a heating pad,
Okay.
but I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like I have one, but do I use it? I'm not using it now. I used it last year a little bit, but
Right.
yes, for things that require a little extra heat and hot peppers, particularly the super hot. So if you're trying to grow habanero peppers or
Right.
ghost peppers or scorpion peppers, the heat really helps those. They take a while to
Right.
germinate, and heat can really speed that up. Or even things like ground cherries, which I love.
Yes.
They're difficult and tricky to germinate, so bottom heat helps. The old
Right.
trick, of course, is to put your flats or your pots on top of your fridge. And if you
Right.
can, that works because that's giving you a little bit of heat. We used to have a wood stove upstairs. Unfortunately, it's been gone a couple years now, but I used to put my flats in front of it for my heat loving things. And then as soon as they germinated, I would pop them under the grow lights.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do have that heating mat and I don't really use it. So all my peppers germinated. I probably got 90%
Wow.
germination, but they were germinated in average room temperature. Like it wasn't like a cool basement. It was about 75 or, like 20, 21 degrees Celsius. So it
Yeah.
worked fine.
I think
Yeah.
there's just the window there because there's no window sill, so they're literally against the glass.
Yeah.
And
So
so I
hot
think
and cold temperatures.
I think it's a bit cold there for them. So I think the heating pad will solve it. Or even when I was trying to get the germinate, maybe I should have just put them anywhere in the house that was warm.
Yes.
And the problem is that the modern refrigerator, I used to put stuff on top of the refrigerator, but the modern refrigerators are so damn efficient, they don't have any heat coming
It's
off. And
true.
maybe if I put it on top of, if I put it on top of the hot water heater, I'd forget about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know it was
It would
there.
dry up.
There'd just be, I had it in
But you
the,
bring up a good point. Like once for a heating mat, you want to use it. But once half of the seeds have germinated, you want to stop using that heating mat because it's going to promote like quicker growth, but not necessarily sturdy growth. So a heating mat is only good when you're germinating. Once my, half of those seeds have germinated, the heating mat's gone.
Oh,
yeah.
So what should I do with the thing where I've got, I've got like a dozen pots and 3 peppers germinated. Is it worth making those 3 leggy?
Well, if they're in pots, I mean, you could put the other ones on top of the heating pad, and the ones that are germinated, just don't put them in the heating pad.
Right.
Like, I mean, heating pads, certainly they perform a function, but I don't want gardeners to have to spend a lot of money they don't need to spend. So that generally I don't recommend a heating pad because they're sometimes like $40 or more. And it's just not something that's essential for most people. Like, I mean, I grow probably 120 flats a year under grow lights throughout the whole season. And I don't generally ever use, a heating pad. So it's not necessary.
I contemplated, now I knew my wife would never let me do this because it's our kitchen window, our dining room window, it's the dining room window. I contemplated taping Mylar to the window so that all the sunlight was just held. I created like a greenhouse effect in there, like a big, so it'd be like a Mylar flag. I mean, we'd look like we'd gone totally, tinfoil hat crazy from the neighbors.
Gardeners would get it. Gardeners would understand. I used to do that with my grow lights. I would have tinfoil tenting, like just over top of them, so all the light would be directed into the plant. Yeah. I get it.
I know you would. I knew you'd understand. Okay, so the next question.